So let's talk about that manager role in therapy appointment, or the administrative role. So what I'm showing you through here is someone who has that support role. They're not a provider, however, they're supporting other providers. And this account I'm in particularly has access as a manager. So it has access to all the preferences and settings in the account as well. And when you arrive in the account as a manager or administrative, then what you always have is a dashboard screen. And so if you're a manager, a billing role, when you log in, you will see this dashboard view of the claims tracking tool or your claims pipeline. You'll see a list of new clients who have not yet been charted on for their first session. You'll see the date they were entered into therapy appointment, and you'll see the therapist who they are assigned to. So if you'd like to take a look at that patient's profile, you'll just click on their name and get right to the profile. Also, you have a look at all the insurance problems for the group right here. Okay. Over on the left-hand side, you have your static menu. And so the practice settings, if you're a manager level, you will have these. So practice settings are where you can make edits to the group's name, tax ID, and NPI numbers. You can set up or add additional locations, as well as manage the colors that you're seeing on the schedule for those locations. You're able to view staff members, get to the staff's profile, or add new staff members from here. You are able to manage the billing and insurance settings. These are CPT codes for your for the group as a whole, or a therapist level CPT codes listed here. And then you also have your list of insurance companies. You have who your claims processing is connected with, and then you have your payment processor information down here. Okay. You also have a look at chart templates right from here as well. Okay. Now, when you click on My Profile, this is going to be about you. So this would be your phone and address and email address information. It's also about your roles. So the manager role and the reporting can see practice reports. So this is something that the owner granted the manager this role, and the manager doesn't need these two things turned on. Honestly, it just needs to be a manager and have access to all of this. So let's take a look at the front office view. I'm going to start down at the bottom here under reporting. So this is where, if you're given access to reporting, this is where you will be able to see the income reporting for the group. You'll be able to view account aging reports, CPT code breakdown reports. So this is how you will access the reporting for the group practice. Messages, this is your message inbox. So I have 2 messages waiting for me that have not yet been read. So if I click on it, here are my 2 messages. The format of this is similar to what you might be used to if you're using email. But remember, this is not email. This is portal-to-portal communication within therapy appointment and our encrypted servers. And so this is where you could receive a message from a client. If you sent them a message and they're responding to you, it would come to your inbox. This is where you will see messages from others in your group. It's also where you can compose a message. So I could compose a message to like all of my admin staff or all therapists, or I could search for a particular person right here, and you'll see that I can put someone in here who is a staff member like John Doe, or I could put a client in here, so I could communicate with a client from here as well. Subject, body of it, and you have some editors here if you want to use those. But a big thing here is you have the ability to send an attachment. So if I wanted to send an attachment maybe to a patient, this would be a great thing to be able to do, or maybe to anybody else in my group. Okay. Now I'm going to delete this draft, and you'll see you'll have all your archive messages listed here. Now let's go up. The billing and insurance. So if you are a manager or billing role, you will have access to this billing and insurance screen. In this billing and insurance screen, your claims tracking tool is here. Your largest open balances on clients is listed here. So what you're seeing is, for example, on Peter Pan, why does Peter Pan owe you $906? If I click on their name, I'll get right to their account. I'll see that this is an overall balance due on that account, but Peter himself is responsible for $714 right now. So I can jump right to that patient's account screen and take a look at what's going on with that patient. Maybe I need to take a payment with a credit card on file. I could do all that right from here. I also have the largest credits due. So when you have credits, of course, you're aware these are probably places where you owe the patient back some money possibly. So you can go right to those credits right from here, just like we did on the other. Also, you'll have insurance problems, and this is for all clients, all providers in the group. You have that ability, and if you generated account statements, you'll see those here and what was sent out. You also can create bulk statements from here. Now, the billing, the billing, this tracking tool, this allows you to manage the claims for all providers in your group on one screen. So as providers complete their session notes, then you are automatically, that claim will be generated if it was an insurance client, and it will be here under ready for submission. So I have those claims that are ready to go. I can click submit now. These are only going to show me the claims and what they are. It's not going to send them until I click submit selected claim. So I could unselect something before I send something out. I could view the claim before I send it out. And you're able to take a look and make edits to that claim if that's something that you need to do. Okay. Now we do have a whole training on billing and insurance, and I do not intend to review all of that here. I'm just giving you some information about these different sections. Submitted, these are all claims that are in submitted status. In other words, you should consider these unpaid claims. And then if you have any claim scrubbing problems, they'll be here, or rejected claims. Now, if you'd like to see your latest payments, if you're getting ERAs from insurance companies, you'll find that here under the Find button. And you will see insurance payments, and I will be able to see the insurance company that paid, what the check number was, total payment, amount posted, and then I can see that explanation of benefits here as an ERA if you have ERAs imported to therapy appointment, or this would be if I manually entered the insurance payments in, then I would see the screen where those payments were manually entered. So we see these were the two claims. Insurance paid $50 on each of those adjustments, and patient responsibility listed there. So that's what you would see for a manual entry claim. Okay. All right. Let's next go to Practice Contacts. Practice Contacts is an address book. This address book is available to the entire group. So the entire group members can add new additions to this. So this is a great way to have everyone have access to those professional contacts you might connect with all the time, so those physicians, doctors, referral sources, so that you have all that information here in front of you. Okay. All right, all clients. So you have a look at all clients for the entire practice here. So you can scroll through and you can search for a client by name, first or last name. You can search for a client by email address, phone, date of birth. I could list clients for a specific therapist. So maybe I want to just look at clients who are assigned to IMA. So I'm going to click that, and then I'm going to go ahead down here, and I'm going to, oops, sorry about that. I'm going to go down here and click search. Okay, so this just showed me all the patients for IMA intern. And additionally, if I wanted to further that search, maybe I wanted it to only be active clients, So we'll hit search, and these are only active clients. And maybe I only wanted clients with insurance that was TRICARE East. So I can put all these filters on, and I just have one that is a TRICARE East patient. So you see how you can use these filters as a search tool, and then you have that available to you. Okay, but that is the all client search. Next, let's go to master schedule. So the master schedule shows you all of your therapists here on the grid, and they are being showed in rows. And I have John open right now. Most of my therapists have many locations, so we're taking up a lot of real estate here. But if I close it, of course, it's not going to show that information. So let's say I just want to see John open today and Penny. So this is how I can see the master schedule, who's on the schedule for today. I can click and get right to a therapist schedule where I can manipulate their month, day, and week view. Now we have a new master schedule coming out quickly, and I just wanted to show you that today. And so right now I'm in going to go into a beta view of that master schedule. And what you'll see here is all my therapists are showing up side by side on a schedule. I can see who I'd like to show. So maybe I have Susan, Jill, and Tammy. So this is their schedule for today. Additionally, I could take a look at it for the week and see the week view on the schedule for these patients, or I could look at it for just particular locations. So I have that view available to me here. Additionally, I can drag and drop patients right from here, or I can quickly switch and get into that patient's a different view if I want to take a look at the week, month, day view and manipulate that schedule as a little bit different view here. So you can see that you have just a little bit different view coming in therapy appointment. We're real excited about this. Let me switch back to my regular account here. So from the master schedule, there are some things that you can accomplish. So maybe your job is to check in a patient. So let's say I am checking in Mr. Scrubby here at 10 o'clock for this physician. I'm going to click on it, and I have some tasks that I might be taking care of at time of service for this patient. So I have, maybe I'm going to take payment here from this patient at the front desk. So I'm going to click accept payment, and I can take a look and say, do I want to see just for today or all open charges? And I like to see all open charges. So Scrubby owes us $353.60. And here's what he owes us as responsibility for each of these outstanding line items here. Okay, so this is his responsibility. It looks like he just hasn't paid his copay in quite a while. So I'm going to collect that from him today. And he's going to pay $353.60 today. Okay. And you'll notice what we're doing is we're automatically applying it to cover these open dates of service invoices here from the get-go. So you don't have to worry about doing it later. We're just doing it from the beginning. Although I could edit that if I wanted to, maybe he's making a partial payment. But all that is going to be applied to cover those dates of service. Let's say that he's paying by check today. I'll put the check number in and hit continue. Okay, and this is just a confirmation screen, and I'm going to save the payment. Okay, so there we go, and Scrubby turned orange, and that indicates to me that I've collected his payment from him today. Okay. So let's take a look here, and I'm going to go to John's schedule. I could do the same thing right from his schedule. I could click on the patient, I could click accept payment, and I can go through that process. And if I wanted to say just for this patient is a private pay client, so he owes $150. He's paying that today. Let's say that we're going to put that on his credit card. And if you're connected with our credit card processing, you'll just go here and say enter card details. So if you're in person and want the patient to swipe or chip the card, you'll tell them to do it now. If you're entering a card manually, or maybe like over the phone, you can do that by clicking here. Or we can use a saved card on file. In this case, I don't have a card on file for this patient, so it tells me I can't do that method. But if I have the patient swipe or chip the card or use a card manually, that will automatically put the card on file for that patient. Okay, So I'm just going to back out of that so that we can take a look at this from a little bit different perspective. Okay, let's take a look at some other things you might do. Perhaps you have a therapist who is not charting their own notes. In Therapy Appointment 2.0, when a therapist finishes their chart note, will automatically guarantee that a claim is created if that patient is assigned as an insurance patient and if a billable CPT code was chosen. But in a case that you have a provider who is not writing notes in Therapy Appointment, then you may want to go ahead and start that billing process for them. So, for example, maybe the patient comes in and you're going to start billing. It's a 60-minute session, and you need to send a claim to their insurance company here. So I can take the payment right from here for the session. I can also create the claim for this service from here if it's an insurance situation. So I can just click create a claim, but right here it's telling me it's marked as private pay. Do I really want to do that? No, I don't. But otherwise it would just be create claim, and then that claim would be created for that session. So I'm just going to say do nothing. Okay. Okay, let's take a look at that master schedule again if you're checking a patient in, and what you see on this summary page. So you can easily get to the patient's profile from here. You can see that you have an alert here on this particular session today. I've already taken money from this patient. Maybe I need to print the receipt. It will be on the patient portal, by the way. Maybe the patient called. I need to reschedule this appointment. Maybe I need to cancel this appointment or mark it as a no-show. The patient needs an excuse note for work or school. They need a list of upcoming appointment reminders. And I can get back to the fax master schedule from here as well. Patient profile, I can get right to their insurance page, documents page, billing page from here. I could also make some edits onto this patient's basic profile directly, like on their insurance or contact information in case that's changed real quick. Okay. All right, so that is the summary page. So as the patient goes through the day, they're going to change color. When the therapist is done writing their notes, then the patient's going to turn green on the schedule. So let's take a look here at today. The therapist hasn't finished their notes yet on this patient, but here we can see for Monday they have. So that the patient is green on those dates of service. Okay, and so I can get to here on the schedule. I can go to a month view for this therapist. I can go to a day view. I can always jump to today if I was in a different week here. Go to different week, jump to today. Okay. What you're seeing on the schedule in this background color is the patient therapist usual availability, and this therapist is sees patients at 2 different locations. So this background color is providing me information about what location they're scheduling patients at. So if I have a patient who calls and I ask what location are they seeing at, they tell me what it is. I know by the color which one to be able to schedule them into. Now, if I'm canceling a patient, here's how you would do that. Let's just say that Mr. Pickens came and he just canceled his appointment. I'm going to mark this as a cancel. Let's say that he had car trouble. He is rescheduling for next week. Okay, so I can put a notice in here about that. And also, if I need to cancel all future appointment occurrences, I can do that from here. So that he is late canceling, and am I charging him a late cancel fee? Yes, I am charging him a late cancel fee of $25, and I can click save here. So now you'll notice that Mr. Pickens is no longer on my schedule, but wait, he really is. What I have is this defaulted not to show cancellations, but if I'd like to show it, just click on it. Then anybody who was on my schedule who was canceled or no-showed is going to show up there. I can click on their name, and that's going to get me to that information about who canceled it. So Mary Manager canceled the appointment, talked to the patient, he had car trouble, rescheduling for next week. So you have that information available to you. This just keeps a cleaner schedule for you. So if you're trying to schedule on top of someone, by having this moved off, you'll be able to manage that. Okay. All right. Some other things that you might take care of on a particular date of service for a patient is a new client. So when you're adding a new client into therapy appointment, you'll say add new client, and you will be able to choose the therapist that you're adding them for. I happen to be in John's schedule, so it's automatically adding it to John. But if I went up here to new client and I'm adding them in for someone else, it allows me to choose the therapist that I am adding them in for. So let's go ahead and we'll add this for Ima. So when I'm adding this for Ima, we'll go ahead and put in the basics of that client's information, gender, and then if you choose other, you can indicate a specific gender here. And then I can send the patient the portal invitation. And what that means when I'm sending a portal invitation is that the patient's going to get an email notification to set up their patient portal username and password. And when they log into that patient portal, depending on this therapist settings, the patient will be taken through some specific be taken through to fill out documents and or answer questionnaires for you. So it makes it a very simple paperless onboarding process. Okay. Right. Okay. If I need to schedule a patient for somebody, so let's just say I'm here in a master schedule and I have someone call in who's a new patient and I want to see when next available is going to be. So I'm just going to say new appointment. And so what I'm able to do here is take a look at maybe they just called me and they are interested in seeing only female. So I'm clicking here for Presney, Penny, Sonia, and I'm filtering that out. So what I'm going to be able to do here is see all of their availability side by side. And so this is showing me this for the next 14 days. If I wanted to look further out, I could do that. I could change this, to 30 days or whatever I wanted to see. But these are open appointments, and I can see the location that they're at on that day as well. So if I'm looking for that next available, it makes it very simple for me to go ahead and do that. And I can basically say, okay, well, we're going to take this 8 a.m. with Presney, and we'll go ahead and click on that. And so I can go ahead and start getting that client entered or hold that appointment for the client while I get them scheduled as a new patient. Okay. Now, also scheduling an appointment for a therapist, all I need to do is go to that patient's account. Let's say that a patient just called to get scheduled here for later this afternoon. I'm going to click on the time slot that I want to schedule them into. My intention here was to click on a 1 o'clock time slot, but instead 1:15 is what I clicked on. No worries about that. I could start over, but let me show you how this works if you don't want to start over. So we're just going to put a few letters of the patient's name in here to be able to choose them. If this is to be a telehealth session and you have telehealth therapy turned on the therapy appointment, I can make it a telehealth session. I can also add details. So maybe this is supposed to be a series of repeating appointments. I can go ahead and set that up here. Maybe it's going to, maybe I need to set it up as a typical session type, maybe a 90837, for example. So I can go ahead and set this up and hit save. Okay, so that's going to schedule the appointment, and I meant to put that at 1. All I need to do is drag it, and it's going to be at that 1 o'clock slot. Now, the reason if I have it at this 1:15 slot is it's showing all this white about it is because I'm actually covering up 2 available appointment times. And that's not a problem, but if your therapist is allowing patients to self-schedule, what it means that they can't self-schedule into anything that's white here. So if I moved it here, then a patient could self-schedule into that 2 o'clock slot now. So that's how it makes a difference. But I also can make appointments longer if needed here, or shorter. I can move them to a different day. And then, of course, clicking on it gets that summary screen. Okay, so that's how you schedule an appointment in therapy appointment and or schedule a series of repeating appointments for a provider. Last but not least, let's show you how to get access to support. So if you first are getting started in therapy appointment, you'll have a getting started item up here that will be there for a while with some quick videos for you. But you also have access here in the lower right corner to our blue question mark. This is going to allow you to search help articles. I can just put in a topic such as ERA or teletherapy and search for different articles. And if I click on it, it's going to bring up that article. If I click again, then this will open it up into a full screen article. Okay. And then also, if I click on this and I want to get directly to tech support, I can just click Ask, and you can submit your information right here to your tech support. Okay. Now, additionally, at the top, this is where you'll log in and out of your account. So if I'm signing out, I'll do it right from here. But also you can get right to our help center and therapy appointment. So if I click here, this is going to take me to the therapy appointment support page. You have access again to contact support via email. You can schedule a call back with a support person. You have our training videos, you have our new user training, and if you scroll down, you'll actually see help articles designed in different categories. So if you want to look at all of our articles about telehealth or charting or migration readiness or security, then you can have all those articles in one place. All right, well, thank you for joining me today. I appreciate your time. Please let us know if you have additional questions. And remember, additional training videos are available right on our support page. So if you are interested in learning more about therapy appointment, you can come right here and take a look at our different playlists, such as insurance, billing, and access that right from here. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.